Welcome to the Mentor Podcast, where the most highly motivated entrepreneurs come to get their weekly dose of financial stability with host Ron LeGrand, as well as other nationally recognized thought leaders who will teach you how to get, grow, and protect your wealth.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Ron LeGrand back with another episode of the Mentor Podcast, designed to help you make more money, make it faster, and retire wealthy. Today, I have a very special presentation I haven't done before, but I recently was on a Q&A session with some of our Go Club members, and they asked me such great questions. I took a couple of them, and we are going to make this podcast about those questions that I answered, and I think you'll enjoy it. Also, if you have questions, go ahead and submit them, and I'll get those answered for you by email, maybe even do a video for you on our Go Club broadcast every Friday and answer your questions. I might do them both. So here we go.
My name is Bill Campbell. I'm in Florida.
Okay.
I want to know where the best ways to find tenant buyers.
All right. Do you have a particular property you're putting on the market?
Not yet.
All right. Well, I'll tell you how I find them. I'll tell you how my students find them. It's not really that complicated, but it starts with what kind of a property are you selling? Because if it's a beautiful home in a beautiful neighborhood, you're going to get a different kind of caller than you are if it's a low-end home in a lower-end neighborhood. But still, we find them pretty much the same. It starts with having a page somewhere where they can go see the house and see pictures on the house. Our VAs set that up for you, or if you're going to do it, then you can either do that on a website or you can just set up a single web page. And in fact, you can set it up on a Zillow or Craigslist or Postlets.com, and Postlets will blast it out and put it all on all kinds of other websites. But on that page, of course, are the pictures of the house, and there should be at least 10 of them on there, description of the house and price of the house and anything else you want to tell them about the house, especially what to do next, and that would be to call you. I would have them call you or call Pat Live, actually, if you're set up that way. If not, then it would be you to get a lockbox code to get into the house. Remember, they are looking at all the pictures on the page before they even go. And by the way, those pictures should be taken by a professional photographer who does this for a living, and not you with your cell phone, because your cell phone won't come close to the kind of professional pictures that they will get from a professional photo shoot. Those pictures will sell the house. So it starts with some place for them to go, and then you can attract them online and you can attract them offline. Obviously, we do both. So online, you can run ads on all the free sites that are available in your area. Our VAs can do that for you as well. And then a lot of our folks are running ads on Facebook, paid ads on Facebook, because you can target the area where you want the caller to see. But the key is that you got to get the unique selling propositions in these ads. And if you're selling on lease purchase, then that should say lease purchase. And then it should say no banks and no credit, or something very similar, because those are unique selling propositions. I would not put the address of the house in any ad. They're going to have to go through channels before they're going to get the address of the house, and I don't want it out there on public right now. I got the flyer set up, and the information is there. It tells them all about the house, but don't forget the part what to do next. Now, in my situation, I'm going to tell you, I want them to call Pat Live. I want them to talk to a human before they go to the house, because I want to get some information on them before I give them the lockbox code. So, for example, the big two is, what's the most you can put down and what's the most you can pay per month. And Pat Live set up to answer those questions or ask those questions and get you the answers, and then send it to you immediately, and then you can decide if you want to contact them back or not, because if you're selling a $250,000 house and, they could put $500 down and pay $500 a month, I don't see any reason to call them. So I don't give them the lockbox code until I get some information from them, whether they're calling in or whether they're online. I'll give them the phone number to call a 24-hour answering service to get their information. And then, again, those two things are asked. So now you get it, you call them back. If you are advertising on Facebook ads, paid ads, same way, I'd drive them to Pat Live. So what I'm trying to tell you is I don't like driving them online from offline. because there's so much stuff on there to see. I'd like to actually have them call to get the information on the house, and then that gives me a chance to find out if they're even worth pursuing. So now that's online. Now, if you're offline, the biggest thing you can do is put about 15 different pointer signs from all different directions pointing toward the house with those same unique selling propositions on it, which are lease purchase, a phone number inside of an arrow pointing toward the house, and no credit, no banks. And that's what we'll get them to call. And they'll call Pat Live. And again, they capture the information, send it to you, and then you call them back and decide whether you want to give them the lockbox code or not. All right? That makes sense?
That makes a lot of sense. Now, you're saying Pat Live?
PATLIVE.com/Ron LeGrand. And it's $199 a month, and they'll take 250 minutes a month worth of calls for you from buyers and sellers. And they already have the scripts. If you go through Ron LeGrand, they know where you came from, so they'll almost be ready by the time you reach them. And tell them I sent you, and they'll waive your setup fee, which is $150, I think. Pat, PATLIVE, live, PatLive.com/Ron LeGrand. And they'll give you 5 local phone numbers to use. And that way you can use one phone number per media, and then you can track where you're getting most of your calls from.
Thank you very much. That's fantastic.
All right.
Yes,
okay.
Thank you.
Hi, Ron. This is Beverly from New York.
Beverly from New York. I just had a Beverly cook me dinner.
How nice.
Particular Beverly I've been married to for 53 and a half years. So,
well,
all right.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Hey, Beverly from New York, what can I do for you?
Is there a way to network with other Gold Club members via the Gold Club site? I'm asking because I'm looking for boots on the ground to partner with deals in Jacksonville, Florida.
What?
Yes.
You know I live in Jacksonville, don't you, Beverly?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. I thought you was kidding me there. So what do you got going on in Jacksonville?
When I left the Structuring Your Empire and Mastering the Phones last week,
you were there,
I drove around and I found 2 properties that I want to pursue. And if they are a yes and I can actually get them sold, I need to partner with someone to go and look at it and that kind of thing.
Have you called them yet?
I actually spoke with the lady. She was bringing out trash to the garbage can, and I asked her a few questions about the property. They are wanting to move closer to the beaches, and they're wanting to do it now.
Well, I hear you, but did you get a property information sheet filled out?
Not yet.
Well, that's where it starts, Beverly. You got to do that. I assume you got the phone number from them, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And then all those scripts that we went over during that Mastering the Phone event. You got to go use the simple scripts that I gave you and read them, and then find out if they're interested in terms, and if so, what terms. I know you remember all that. We did it 6 times.
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, that's the first step, and you may or may not need a partner. You don't need a partner in Jacksonville. Period. You do need need boots on the ground. So if you make these calls and you find that there is interest in taking a monthly payment until we can pay them off in full, then you just let us know, and I'll find somebody to get you boots on the ground. But you don't need boots till you got some kind of a deal.
Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to know. If I get the deal, how do I get the boots on the ground? Okay.
Well,
that
okay,
answers
back
my
to
question.
your question, though. There is a forum on the Go Club site. And in fact, Nick, who happens to be stuck with host duty tonight, is the one that built the Gold Club site, so he can probably tell you a whole lot more about that forum than me. You're there, Nick?
I am here.
Okay. Why don't you tell all of our listeners, not about just the forum, but everything else on there that they're not using enough?
They're probably not using it right now?
That not using enough.
Is that what you said? Gotcha. Yeah. Well, the forum it's a basic forum. If you've ever been on any website forum, it's a place for you to post new discussions. If you have any questions, we actually pull a lot of questions for Ask Ron, our weekly Ask Ron video from that forum. But also there's opportunities for your peers on the Gold Club to answer your questions there. ahead of time. So if your question that you posted on the forum was, for example, is there anybody in Jacksonville, Florida who would want to partner on a deal with me or be boots on the ground for me, then you could do that and you would get responses from people here in this area.
Okay.
We have a lot of other features on there. Ron probably goes over more than I do, but of course, FSBO lead service can be more in your own area, but you can select any 2 counties that you want in the country. What else we got on there, Ron? We've got tons of hours and hours of training videos from Ron. We post these recordings of these calls we're doing right on there, so you can re-listen to this if you need to. Ron just did a pretty good session on finding tenant buyers that I'm probably going to pull for next week's lesson video, so I think that'll be good. What else we got, Ron?
Well, you built
Forms and Agreements Library.
Okay. Tell you what, if you haven't done it, you better get over to the left side of it and hit the FSBO lead service, because that'll turn them on for you, and you'll be getting them in your inbox every day. Those are for sale by owners that are advertised on the internet, and that's where it all starts. And then if you want our virtual assistant to call them for you and get the property information sheet, then just get a hold of our office and get that going. If you're not getting in leads, it's because you haven't hit that FSBO lead service button and picked your 2 counties. You got to do that first. And then, man, if you haven't pulled down the training button yet at the top, just hit the training button, and wow. I mean, you go back to the search box at the top and just put in whatever you want a lesson on, like, let's say it's land trust. Put that in the search. Here come a whole bunch of lessons on land trust. And then, of course, there's a resort button, which probably is the most commonly used thing on there, and that's where all my forms and agreements for everything that I've ever done are all on there, and lots and lots of other stuff on there. I know there's one section on there that's got 560 some odd business letters. It's just kind of endless, and they're all categorized to residential, commercial, various subjects. So you just go under what you're looking for, and then of course our store is on there. But there's also a button at the top that says Contact Us, so that's where I want you to hit and go send us questions. It's all of your jobs to send in questions to me that you want the answers to, because every Friday I do that with a video, and you get it out every Friday in your inbox, our Gold Club Weekly. And I'll tell you, if you got questions and you can't find a lesson on there that answers it for you, by all means, send me the question. And if it's worthy of a lesson, I'll create a lesson. I've often told people, how long it takes me to create a 10-minute lesson? You got it, 10 minutes. So it's not a big problem for me, because I don't have to go do the research. I know this stuff. And you'd be doing everybody else's service by letting us know that there's something on there that, not something on there that you'll need. If you need it, somebody else needs it as well. And then there's a lot of other things on there. There's actually a private lender site on there already set up that most people don't even know it's there. So go hit that private lender button and put in a little bit of information. There's a site that literally will attract people to get an audio from you called Here's a Safe Alternative to the Stock Market. And that starts the conversation about them becoming private lenders. And then there's the commercial buying group on there. Hit that button, because once you register, you get all kinds of discounts on stuff in your local area. And there's an affiliate button on there that very few people even know anything about. Go check that out, because there's a whole bunch of links that tie to about every product that we have. And if you put that link out to anybody, you literally get 50% of whatever they buy, and you don't have to do anything except put the link in their face. We do everything else. So, in fact, there's a whole all-day seminar on just how to be a good affiliate on there under training. In fact, it's how to be a good affiliate. It's in a category all by itself, so I might pay you to listen to that. So it's all about driving traffic. So this thing is huge website, so make sure you take advantage of it. Take time to explore it. And then, of course, there's another site for our dream system. How did I get to that, Nick? What's the URL?
That would be dreamsolutionspro.com.
Solutions, Okay, that's all.
Dream
all
singular.
About, right.
The
Dream
S in dreams is
singular.
solution.
All right. So that's all about our CRM system that literally run your business for you. It's got all kinds of cool stuff on it. I mean, guys, we got that stuff there, but you just got to go check them out. There's 80 different videos on that just to teach you how to use that system alone. And good news is our VAs will do the work for you if you'll go take the time to find out what it'll do and tell them what kind of work you want done on it. All right. So anyway, Beverly, did I answer your question, or I totally forgot what it is now? Huh?
Yes, you did, regarding the boots on the ground. So once I get a yes lead and I really need it, then I'll reach out to get that help from you.
Well, not necessarily now, Beverly. Do you remember that no script that I created and gave to you? Doesn't have to be a yes lead. Can be a no lead, too. Remember the no script, the brand new one?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. It's so brand new that nobody on the phone right now even knows it exists. So I just happen to have a copy of it right in front of me. So I want you to be the seller. So you started this, so you be the seller. And I'm going to call you, okay? And,
all right.
And on your property information sheet, you said that you would not be interested in taking a monthly payment. So
that is correct.
That. All right.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Ready? Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Beverly. This is Ron LeGrand. This is Ron following up on the house for sale that you discussed with my assistant the other day. You got a minute?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, look, I've got all the information here on the house, so we sure don't need to go through all that again. But I do have a few questions for you. And my information is that you said you would not be interested in taking a monthly payment until I pay you in full. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. Well, Beverly, we found that some people don't have a clear understanding of what we do and why it's in their best interest to work with us. But once they get clarity, they conclude it may be in their best interest to sell. And I can tell you, if you have to cash out right now and you have no other way, then I can't help you. But I can help you if you don't. So you should know that when we buy, we usually pay all the closing costs, which is several $1,000s in a sale. So you don't come to closing with a nickel. And we can pay full price and close with an attorney whenever you're ready. And now to some people that's pretty important because, they think they got to move out the day of closing, but not in our case. We can literally close it and work out when you move out so nobody's pushing you out because you're not moving in right behind you. And we'll take it as is, which means there won't be any home inspector coming to your house and picking it apart. And most importantly, you'll find that when you sell to us, you'll net more money than any other way you sell. So you'll get a monthly payment until sometime in the future when we can pay it off and no more responsibility toward the house after we close. So, Beverly, do you have to have the cash now, or would you consider a delayed cash sale and get a lot better deal?
I would need $10,000 down or up front for my move. I need to move in about 60 days, and I would need $10,000 to help with that move.
All right. So you're saying you would take a monthly payment until we cash you out if you get $10,000 down, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Well, if we can agree upon the other terms, what is the least you could take for the house, Beverly?
Around $250,000.
$250,000? Okay. Is that the best you can do?
Maybe $245,000.
Okay. All right. Well, you're going in the right direction, Beverly. And now remember I pay the closing costs, so you don't need any money. You save a commission, and I'm taking it as is, and I'll close when you're ready. So give me a reason to want to buy your house. I got to make a little bit of money here somewhere. I don't have to steal it, but I got to have a little bit of room in here. So assuming we can come to terms, what is the best you can do?
Probably $240,000 would probably be the very best that I could do.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. When I come see the house, we'll work that out when I get there, and I'll have time to actually do some homework on the house. All right?
Okay.
All right. So last question. I see your payment is $1,468 a month, so I assume you're okay if I cover that until I pay you off, right?
And how long would it take for you to pay me off?
Well, some folks give us up to 30 years. Some folks want a shorter time. It's kind of between you and I. How long can you give me to pay you off?
I could give you maybe 15 years.
Well, I'm sure I can work with that. So a couple more questions, and we'll make an appointment. Are you the only owner?
Yes, I am.
All right. And if I come out to your house, and whenever you want me to, I guess that would be today or this evening, right?
Tomorrow after 3 p.m. would be best for me.
So what do you want, 4?
4:30 would work best.
All right. So if I come out to your house and we do agree upon the terms, are you ready to sell your house now and get some paperwork done while I'm there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, I will see you at 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. Looking forward to it.
Same here. Thank you.
By the way, Beverly, could you have have all your paperwork ready so I can take a look at it while I'm there, so you don't have to go hunt it down after I arrive?
What paperwork are you referring to?
Oh, you know, the paperwork you got when you bought the house, all that stuff they put in that big old fat envelope for you.
Oh, okay. All the deeds and all of that.
All that stuff. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Yes, I'll have that ready.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, so I'll see you tomorrow at 4:30.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Now, how about that? Was I not reading the scripts? You know you got them in front of you pretty much, right?
Yes, that was really good.
Okay. Can you see why that about somewhere between 15 and 30% of the people who say no on the property information sheet will convert to yes if you got a good script to read them?
Yes, yes, I do.
All right. Okay. Well, you go use that script because you've got it and make that call, and whether it's a yes or no, see what you can do with it and let us know. In fact, go to the contact button on there, and Nick will get that and he'll forward it to me.
Okay.
All right. Good luck with that.
Thank
By the way,
you.
wasn't that a great event?
Yes, it was. Absolutely fabulous.
I mean, I can rave reviews on that. Both of them, actually. Structuring Your Empire, Mastering the Phone. But I'm sure you're going to tell our listeners that the best part about it was Iggy's, right?
Iggy's was wonderful. The staff was really sweet, really nice to us.
All right, that's my restaurant, guys, in case you don't know. It's called Iggy's Grill and Bar here in Jacksonville. So you come to Jacksonville for an event, you are going to eat at Iggy's. You will have no choice. Of course, I usually buy. All right. Thank you, Beverly.
Thank you, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Yes.
It's Josh in Illinois.
Josh
in Illinois, yeah. Just wanted to say thanks for your time first. Nick, thanks for your time also. What's on my mind today is a question about private money. More specifically, maybe the objection that some people who would have private money to lend, however, when you present them lending money to your LLC for real estate investing, they say, "Well, I don't know if I'm not really sure I can do that. I'm not sure if that's what I can do with my 401k money or IRA money." So, could you speak to the way to overcome those objections, or if it's easier for you, maybe direct me to where I would find lessons on that? Obviously, on the Gold Club, or maybe in the Pretty House terms.
All right. Well, this got nothing to do with Pretty Houses because we don't go borrowing money in the Pretty House business.
I meant maybe it was in one of the CDs of the Pretty House or Ugly House terms, Quick Start School CDs, something like that.
Okay. Well, I just said it's got nothing to do with Pretty Houses.
Okay, gotcha.
There is a CD on it in the Ugly House system.
Okay.
And of course, we do teach it at the boot camp. But
sure.
Your money's going to come from an individual, not a bank, not a loan broker, not a loan shark. But
sure.
The answer to your question was, how do you answer that objection? And I believe I heard you say you're asking them to loan your LLC money for real estate investing. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's not what they do.
Okay.
They loan money on a house secured by the house.
Okay.
At a low loan-to-value ratio not to exceed 70% of the after-repaired value. If you came to me and said, "Will you loan me my LLC some money so I can maybe find a real estate investment with it?" I'd tell you, no, go learn something and come back maybe. But if you come to me and you say, "Hey, I got a house worth $200,000 and I need a loan on it for $150,000 to buy it and renovate and hold it till I sell it," now that might be a different story. So no, I can clearly see that I got plenty of equity above my loan. So your problem is you're scaring me away with your language. You're not giving me the good benefits before you ask me for a response, and therefore they have no confidence in the way you're asking for the money. So it's all about how you ask. But honestly, if I were you, I wouldn't even ask till I found a property that I could discuss, so that they know you're real.
Sure.
And yes.
And as far as that money being in their IRA, and they're not sure. This is not just bank account money sitting there. They're not sure if they can take that money from their IRA.
Well, first ask them if it's a self-directed IRA, because if it isn't, they can't. The money manager won't do that because they don't get fees on it. However, they can move it.
Self-directed IRAs.
They can move it to a self-directed company like Quest, which is who we use, I mean, literally within a few days by simply filling out a form and tell them to move it. There's not a cost. They're just changing custodians. So, but your Merrill Lynch's and your banks and all of that, they won't let them do that. They'll just make them invest in some list that they've got. So it's a multiple choice IRA. It's not really a self-directed.
Right. So the private money lender would have to move money to a self-directed IRA.
That is correct.
Before it would be available to an investor. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And if it's in a 401k that they do not control, forget it. They're not moving it anywhere because it's up to the 401k administrator. But if they are in control of the 401k, then they're going to have to ask their administrator. I mean, if they have control of what they spend the money on, they can make a loan on that house.
Okay. Whenever somebody moves their IRA to Quest or another self-directed IRA, do they need to move their whole IRA there, or say, "Hey, I need
move as much as they want"?
Okay. They could have multiple.
They
could still have their Edward Jones or their Merrill Lynch IRA and have a piece in the self-directed IRA, $30,000, $40,000. Okay.
That is what I said. Okay. Now, if they got a traditional IRA and they move it to a Roth, which is, if they're smart, they will, that's a taxable event for that amount of money for that year. But their Roth will go tax-free forever. Their traditional is just tax-deferred till they get ready to take it out. So if you look, I bet you probably 50 to 60% of the private money in this country comes from people's self-directed IRA. In fact, that's the biggest thing the Quest customers do is they lend money. They lend money or they buy notes. And third on the line is they buy real estate with their IRAs.
Yeah. Okay. No, that clarifies my question. I think I was a little off in my wording of the question in general, but no, it answers my question that it needs to be a self-directed IRA.
It does. It's all in the presentation, isn't it? Just like buying houses. It's all in the way you handle a closing call.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's all for this edition of the Mentor Podcast. To connect with Ron and learn how you can attain financial freedom, as well as up-to-date strategies to grow and protect your wealth based on today's discussion, go to www.connectwiththementor.com.